Okay, thanks for joining us again, Steve. It seems to get slightly colder every time we do one of these this time of year, doesn't it? Farnborough on Saturday, 2-1. It could have gone either way at the end there. We could have almost nicked the draw, but they got their chances when we were going for it as well, I suppose. But,
yeah, I mean, I thought the big. I sound like a broken record. I just feel, Michael going off at half time was a huge loss. As I said, we haven't got any left backs at the football club. He's the only left-footed player that can play there. And I thought up to half time, they hadn't really created an awful lot. They were the better side. There's no doubt about that. We hadn't created much, but we kept them at arm's length. I thought it was very much a case of them having control of the ball, but not really opening us up. And so I didn't really feel under, I didn't feel like it was a particularly uncomfortable afternoon up to that stage. Yes, they got some really good players, and we know that any time the game can open up. But for 45 minutes, I think we were very much in the game, albeit we probably didn't look like ourselves. Getting a goal. I don't think neither did they. So I thought it was very even first half. In regards to things created, they've had more of the ball, but you expect that when they're playing at home because they're a very good side. Michael then comes in and says he's pulled his groin, and all of a sudden you're left with absolutely no options other than put Charlie Kennedy at left back, and I'm sorry, it just simply doesn't work. And good sides will expose that, and they did. They got in that little pocket between Charlie and Sam, who just come on, and that's where they've exploited the goal. With regard to the second one, I think everybody in the ground thought it was out of play, apart from the linesman. But you've got to play on, and you've got to make sure. Sam has got to make sure that under no circumstances can there be any ambiguity. You've got to get rid of the ball. If it's not going to roll out of play, he's got to put it out of play, and then we'll regroup from there. And that really was a tough one to take. At the end, I mean, Sam scored a great goal, and we've had a chance at the end. I think with Calv at the far post. Their keeper's pulled off a great save, but then they've had 3 or 4 really good chances at the other end. So I thought the defining moment was really the injury to Michael, which sort of upset the balance of the side, and certainly second half. I think the goals that they did score might have been negated if he'd been on, because all of a sudden we haven't got the shape and the balance that we had before. And I say I feel like a broken record, but it is one of those where every injury we seem to get is in areas that we can't afford to have an injury in, whereas we have no cover. Anywhere else we could probably got away with it, but you spend all that time trying to get a replacement to Josh, and then when you do, he gets injured himself. So that was a tough one to take, but as I say, I was pleased overall with the effort. I don't think anyone who went there can argue with that, which certainly wasn't the case at Plymouth. So in that respect, it was definitely a step forward.
And you mentioned Michael's injured there. Is he likely to be out for a little while?
We don't know. It's a groin strain. We're hoping that it won't be long term, but you never quite know. I think Josh, hopefully, keep our fingers crossed, will be available over the next couple of weeks, which will make a huge difference. Marvin should be okay over the next couple of weeks. Charlie Kennedy rang me up today and said that he's now got a hernia, so Charlie could be out for quite a while with that. We're keeping our fingers crossed, but it's been like that. As I said, it seems to be, we get one back and then we lose one, and that seems to be the case all year. And been hard work, I've got to say. It's been probably the hardest season certainly I've had here, with regard to never really getting ahead of the game.
Very entertaining second half from a neutral's perspective. So anybody turning up there would have enjoyed that game. Second half was really entertaining, wasn't it? Yeah,
I mean, they're a good side. We know that. I mean, we were working out. I mean, we sat down before we did this and worked out that if you took 5 players out of their team, that would take our entire budget up for this football club. So 5 of their players would take our entire budget out the equation. So that gives you some idea where they are. We would probably have had a bigger budget than Farnborough last year and the year before that. So as a football club, they're going for it.
Yeah.
And I have no issues with that. That our problem is not what they're spending, because they've got really good players in for that. It's all right to have the money, but the quality of player they've brought in says that the money that they're spending out is worth every penny of that. So you can't argue with that. They've made a conscious decision. that they're gonna have a go this year, and and they're, in that respect, they're they're light years away from us financially, but that's still, doesn't, as I say, you still got to spend that money wisely, and they've certainly done that. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew what sort of team they are. They're a really good side with the ball. We know that they're an excellent side when they've got possession, and we had to stay with them, and we did. And for the majority of the game, we did that. As I say, second half it opened up a little bit. It's just a shame that Michael wasn't there second half to make sure that defensively, we would have been able to cope better. But we knew it was going to be a tough game, and it's no, it's not, to lose to them is no disgrace.
Absolutely not. Looking ahead, we have no game this Saturday, so I guess we're in for training either Friday or Saturday. Is that right?
We're training obviously tonight, and then we'll be in. Depending on when we can get the facility. I think it's going to be Friday, more likely than Saturday.
And then after that, we've got a game on Tuesday against Chippenham. Yep,
Chippenham, which will be interesting, obviously, because they'll probably, I would imagine, play some squad players. We're going to play some lads who need a game. We're going to get some development lads involved and mix it up a little bit, and maybe slightly tinker with the shape, and push people on in a more advanced area, in a particular system that we want to do, and have a look at one or two things. So we're going to use that as a sort of suck it and see sort of game, and hopefully we'll be in good shape physically for the game away at Swindon.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Steve, and I'll let you crack on with the pitch.
Yes, thanks for that. Cheers, mate.
On my phone.
Yes, goodbye.